Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that is quite personal to me and I think it could really help a lot of people. I am traveling solo quite often and as you know, I live with a hidden disability. This means that from outside I usually look fine and healthy. As you know, I'm doing a lot of CrossFit, I'm fit. But in reality, my body struggles a lot. I am in chronic pain. My arthritis is pretty bad at this point. I made a separate video if you're interested in the details. And my body is struggling the most, especially when I'm traveling or out at the theme parks. And traveling alone with a hidden disability can be exhausting, stressful, and sometimes, if you've never done it before, even scary. Airports and theme parks are especially challenging because they involve long walking distance, waiting in line, time pressure, loud noises, bright lights, and very crowded spaces, and people that will never, ever think about your personal space. They are not sensitive to it, and it's my foot, and it's really, really sensitive. I hate it, for an example, during physical therapy, when someone is just touching it because it's so sensitive with everything that is going on. Sorry, my phone just dropped. Going on, and yeah, a lot of people, especially at Universal and in the airports, are just stepping on my foot. It's hurting like hell every time. Most of the time, people don't even excuse for it. They are just going on and they are like, yeah, you were in the way. And I was just like, yeah, I was standing here. Sorry that I was standing at the side and you need to rush because you are more important than everyone else. Stuff that raises my blood pressure every time I am outside public spaces. So, in this video, I want to share 10 things that generally made my life easier when traveling alone, especially at airports and at Universal Orlando Resort. Airports and Universal are quite similar in their rules and processes, especially when it comes to security, waiting times, and accessibility. My goal with this video is not to complain, but to show that traveling with a hidden disability is possible, even if you are traveling solo, and that small adjustments can make a huge difference for you. If you are traveling with chronic pain, arthritis, fatigue, or any kind of invisible illness, I hope this video makes you feel seen and supported. And maybe there is a tip that is helping you where you never thought about thinking about. My first thing is foldable crutches. I've never thought about stuff like that. But one of my therapists was like, I think they would be a quite nice gimmick for you. And I didn't know that stuff like that even existed. And yeah, I will pick them up in a few days. I had a few of them just to test them out, and they were just a game changer because I can fold them as small as this size. So they can fit into my hand luggage, they can fit into my park bag even, and I think I need to check it with Universal. They could even fit in the lockers, but otherwise there would be the solution that I just give them to a cast member when I'm on the ride. So nope, this is definitely not a problem. And this is one of the biggest things that made traveling easier, these foldable crutches. I do need support I don't need the support of crutches every single day of my day. In my normal day-to-day life, most of the time I don't use them because especially grocery shopping, I can just lean on the grocery cart or stuff like that. But my pain level can change very quickly. From everything is fine to the next minute, I am in the most crucial pain ever. So moments I can walk normally and other moments my joints became painful, unstable, and very weak. We tested everything out, so my ankle is fine. This is a good news because my ankle is stable. It's just that the rest of the foot is completely wobbling, and maybe the new shoes will help a little bit. But foldable crutches are helpful because, as I told you, I can keep them in my bag when I don't need them, take them out when I do, and this allows me to stay independent while still having support available. At airports, most of the time, if you don't request special assistance, but even with special assistance, sometimes you have to walk long distances between gates, security, baggage claim, and at theme parks, you will walk for many hours and stand in lines, even with the AAP, for quite a time. So using crutches helps me reduce my pain, avoid overloading my joints, and save my energy. And it makes my disability visible to other people. So normally when I'm using them, people don't step on me. This is a good thing. So using a mobility aid does not mean that I am giving up, because I would never. It just means that I am listening to my body and I respect my limits, because I didn't do it for nearly 10 years and it just got worse. Protecting your health is more important than pretending that you are fine. And as I said, I learned it the hard way. But please keep in mind, I ask Lufthansa, my national carrier, which I normally fly with, if they are down giving me a hard time like the last time. You need to have a doctor's note with you that you need them for medical reasons, otherwise they wouldn't be allowed in the cabin. So just have a doctor's note with them, and they require you to put them in the hand luggage or give them to the flight attendant. You are not allowed to have them on your own, because people are mental and people would do crazy stuff with stuff like that. So they will take them from you, but if you, for example, need to use the restroom, they will gladly give them back to you so you can walk to the restroom. I think it's a good system. Same at Universal. I don't think that you will need a medical note for your crutches, but I have them with me anyway, especially I think CCES card is also saying that I need them. So just make sure to have a note and you should be fine otherwise. But especially with Lufthansa, I know that if they have a bad day, they will take them away from you. I heard a lot of stories about stuff like that, so just have a doctor's note with you. The second thing I am personally not doing, because I think I am not quite ready for it, but if you are, it can make a difference, especially in countries where it's well known. Here in Germany, for an example, no one knows about it, but I think United Kingdom, it is quite popular, and the United States, most of the time they know what is its meaning. It's the sunflower lanyard for hidden disabilities. So this is a green lanyard with sunflower symbols on it. You can purchase this from eBay or Amazon, I don't know. And for an example, most of the airports will hand them out to you. For an example, my home airport here in Hamburg, you can go to their information desk and they will provide it to you. You can keep it and everything is fine. So this sunflower lanyard is a symbol, and as I said, it's recognized in many airports and many tourist locations. It's, in my opinion, a discreet way to show that you have a hidden disability and maybe need extra time handling day-to-day business, and that other people should have patience or maybe ask for assistance, especially the cast members, the employees that are working there. So I heard from a lot of people, especially a friend of mine, she is really, really high autistic. When she's wearing the sunflower lanyard, it helps her to feel less anxious about asking for help. So she don't have to explain her medical history to strangers, and she didn't feel rushed. So if this is something you're looking for, it's fine. For an example, I don't care. I can talk about, I have problems with walking with my foot. It's not of your business, but here you have your information if you're so interested in them. But I know, especially when it comes to autism or stuff like that, it's not that easy to communicate with strangers. It's completely understandable. So sometimes she said to me, staff members noticed the lanyard and treated them more kindly or patiently without having had to explain anything. And I think this is good. It should be normal, but if this lanyard is helping with stuff like that, it's good. And just to make it clear, this lanyard is not about special treatment. It's about accessibility and understanding. If your disability is not visible, it can be really, really challenging. Yes, definitely. The sunflower lanyard can help you feel more seen and supported in busy and stressful environments. So maybe you should look into it and purchase or ask at the airport for some of those. So the next point is really important for me. I am doing it every time. Ask for special assistance with your airline and apply for the AAP at Universal. So one of the most important things I learned is that it is okay to ask for special assistance. At airports, you can request special assistance directly from your airline. You need to talk to your airline, not to the airport, to the airline. The airline is providing the service. This can include help with long walking distance. You have the cars that are driving around the airport, but this is a little bit complicated because they are not organized by the airline. Those needed to be requested at the airport. So I am just going with a wheelchair service every time with my airline because it's, for me, the easiest way to set it up. So the special assistance service will help you through security. You have priority boarding, and they will assist you finding your gate. And for me, it's every time really appreciated because I need time to settle down in the plane to make sure I have the things I need with me in this pocket underneath the seat in front of me, my medication and stuff. And I need to feel safe. And this is not happening when I'm boarding with everyone else because they are rushing you, they are pushing you, and it's stressing me out. So this is a good solution. And as I talked to you guys a lot of times before, at Universal, you can apply for the Attraction Assistance Pass, also known as the AAP. The system is designed to help guests who cannot wait in regular lines for long periods of time due to medical or accessibility reasons. And please understand, it does not mean you skip everything for free. You will still wait the waiting times, but not inside of the lines. It will help you managing the waiting times in a way that is more accessible for your body. For an example, I fetch my time at Epic for, let's say, ministry, and just sit down at the fountain and watch the fountains, eat something, and it's helping me a lot. Before I applied for the system, every park day was ending in a crucial amount of pain. And the last time I was able to enjoy myself at the theme times for the first time since the accident. So it can really improve your day. And this is making a huge difference because standing in a long line, I would never be able to wait 5 hours for ministry. This is just not going to happen. Because afterwards, I am a lot of pain, I am fatigued, I am overstimulated, and it just gets worse from this point. So using the AAP is helping me to enjoy the park instead of constantly worrying about how long I could physically stand without breaking down. And yes, it's hard. And for an example, I think 30 minutes are my breaking point. For 30 minutes is fine for me to wait, but everything that is longer than that, I am starting to struggle. So the AAP is important for me. So the fourth thing is just bring an empty water bottle through security. This might sound really, really simple, but it can be really, really helpful. Always bring an empty water bottle through airport security. After security, you can fill it with water at fountains or refill stations. Most of them or all of them are for free if you just want to have some water. And staying hydrated is extremely important, especially when you have chronic pain, fatigue, or inflammation. Traveling is already stressful for the body, and dehydration can make especially symptoms for me much, much worse. So having your own water bottle will save you some money, because I saw some crazy price tags for a bottle of water after security, and it ensures you that you will always have access to water when you need it. This might maybe seem like a small habit, but it makes a huge difference for me and how I feel during long traveling days. Because when I'm going to Japan, we are talking about, when I choose Emirates, from 20 hours from my home to Tokyo, or even 24 hours. Orlando, it's maybe 16 hours, I guess, when you are counting traveling from my home to the hotel. So it's a long time, and you need to drink and stay hydrated during that time. For an example, I don't need food anytime. I just could go at a 12 hours flight without food. This is not a problem, but I need to drink constantly, because otherwise my kidneys would just scream. And I think it's good to know your body, and it's good that you need to know what you need. And another thing I learned the hard way is number 5. Never give your medication out of hand. Because I am the nice and fluffy girl. When they are asking people if someone is willing to check in their hand luggage, I just take out my professional camera and here you go, you can check it in. And sometimes I forget my medication is in the suitcase. They checked them in and I'm just like in the flight. This is not ending well, so most of the time you can ask the flight attendants. They will have the basics like Tylenol or ibuprofen if you're really in need, but just think about it. So don't be as stupid as I am, and don't give your medication out of your way. Because if you're putting it in your check-in luggage, suitcases can get lost. Flights can be delayed. And luggage can end up in the wrong country. Yes, I made all of those experiences. So if your medication is in your bag, you could suddenly be without it for hours or even days. And especially if you're taking strong medication, it can be a struggle to go to a doctor and ask for a prescription without the proof of documentation. So take your medicines, and pro tip, take at least for 2 or 3 days more than you think you would need, because you can end up be delayed or stuff like that. My doctor, when I am taking special medications with me, is always saying just take 1 week more. I will write on this note that you will be traveling 1 week longer than you intentionally wanted to do, because you never know. There can be a hurricane. There can be, you don't know, a blizzard. There were a lot of reasons you can get stuck. So take more than you think you would need. And again, it is also important to check if you need a doctor's note for your prescription or special documentation for your medication when you're traveling internationally. Different countries have different rules about medications. Keeping your medication with you gives you safety, peace of mind, and a little bit of control over the situation. Another thing I learned the hard way during my last long-haul flight, especially when you're struggling with arthritis, joint pain, circulation problems, or swelling like I do, compression socks can be really helpful. I didn't use them, never had any problems until my last flight. My foot started swelling so badly. It was so painful because I was not able to open up my shoes and I was just struggling. So my doctor was just like, here you go. next time you use them. And I was like, yes, I will. I learned it the hard way. So sitting for long periods of time, especially on flights with all of the pressurizing stuff going on, can cause swelling. It can cause stiffness and pain in the legs and feet. Compression socks helps to improve circulation, and they are reducing the swelling. They also help reduce discomfort during long travel days. Wearing compression socks will make a noticeable difference for me, especially on long flights or days where I need to walk a lot. So I get the prescription one. I talked to my doctor about it. He said class number 1 is completely enough if they are just for flying, just to give you an idea. But for me, I need class 2 because there was always a lot of swelling going on. So make sure you think about it. You can buy them without a prescription. But for me, here in Germany, it's much cheaper because I don't pay a penny if my insurance is paying for them. So make sure to think about stuff like that. So they may not be fashionable, but I got a pretty funny pair. They are pink and green, so they come in different colors and sizes nowadays. I was impressed to have such colorful ones, and comfort should always be more important than your appearance when you are traveling. So, tip or idea number 7 is look at maps and accessible roads before you go. This can save a lot of troubling. Especially, make sure you find a way that is accessible for you. They have escalators or lifts, and you don't need to climb stairs, for example. This is something that is important for me. Because, for example, our business lounge here in my home airport, in my base airport, you only see the stairs. You really need to ask a staff member for the lift. It's so hidden that I was just like, can't you just put up signs? Because I would never had the idea that this lift will take me up to the lounge. So it's always easier if you just look stuff like that up beforehand. Most of the airports are providing maps. Just look at them and you have an idea. You can use Flight Radar or other apps and see on which gate this flight is normally taking off, so you have an idea where you need to go. For an example, from the international part to the national park in Frankfurt, you know the way, you know an accessible road. It can save you a lot of trouble when you're not using the special assisted service. So looking at maps before traveling can saved me a lot of energy and stress. So as I said, make sure I know all the accessible roads. I don't need an accessible bathroom, but if you need one, this is also a good thing to look up just in case. If you have autism like my friend, it's always good to know where are quiet areas, so you can decompose, have a little bit of decompression and get out of all of the overstimulated part. And I always make a screenshot so I have them available when the internet is not working. So when I'm in pain or I'm exhausted, it becomes even harder for me to make decisions and navigate complicated spaces. Knowing where I'm going ahead of time helps me feel calmer and more confident doing it. Preparation reduces stress and helps conserve energy for actually enjoying the trip. And it's the same with the theme parks. Just look up. I know Universal is providing quiet areas. Look them up if you need them. Look them up. Where are the accessible bathrooms? Look up where the first aid stations are. Make sure to look up where were the fastest ways to go. I know Islands of Adventure can be a pain in the ass because of the lake, but Epic Universe is brilliant. Just know how you can get from one portal to the other on the fastest way, and it will save you a lot of time and confusion and a lot of pain in the end of the day. So make sure to use the maps that Universal or the airports are providing. Tip number 8, I know it's not possible for everyone, but if you can afford it, pay extra for comfort if you can. I was never thinking about it. I was a cheapy girl before my accident. Ryanair was my favorite airline, just to pay $20 to go to London and back. Perfect. Nowadays, I would not even consider in the slightest to choose this airline. This is nothing to do because I don't like them. It's because if you have a disability, it is just too stressful to use them. I understand it. Their most important thing is efficiency. And people like me can slow down the process. So it's not good for both sides. They are doing a good job, what I heard about, but I would just go crazy watch the other people going mental. This is something that is stressing me out the most. When I see people are behaving like animals, it's stressing me so much. I am getting stressed if I am sitting at a gate next to a Ryanair flight. Just to watch the boarding process is interesting. I think in the United States you have a spirit for that, so you can know on which level Ryanair is. So it's not an airline for me. I would gladly just do 2 trips a year and then pay for the extra comfort. For an example, I am paying most of the time from Hamburg. There is no way to go internationally. The only thing I can do is Emirates to Dubai and Dubai, Asia or Australia. But we got rid of our New York connection, and I don't think that we maybe have Turkey and stuff like that. But outside of Europe, there was not much going on from Hamburg. So I always need a connection flight. So I made sure that this national connection flight, or maybe Amsterdam's or European connection flight, is upgraded to business. Because you have so many advantages that can make your life so much easier. First of all, a separate security, a separate check-in, your lounge access. You will board anyway before them, but it's easier to have the space in the business area. And for an example, I only upgraded those flights for 90 euros. And I think it's worth it. When I'm choosing the train to my international airport, I am going first class. If you're booking in advance, it's maybe even cheaper than a normal train ticket. So keep that in mind. It will make your life really much easier. And this is not about luxury. It's about accessibility and energy management. Reducing physical and sensory stress before your flight can help you arrive less exhausted and less in pain. It really worked great the last time in Orlando until we landed and baggage claim was not working. I don't know what they did because every other flight got their suitcases. We were waiting for 2 hours for our suitcases to arrive. And it was not fun because my superstar shuttle was like, oh, I guess you weren't on the flight because we were waiting such a long time for you. And I was, because my flight landed, they saw my flight was there. And I was just like, yeah, sorry. We figured everything out, but at this time, my stress level was again through the roof. I was jet lagged. I am so grateful that Surfside took care of me because I had reached this conditions. I wouldn't have found my room without help because I was beyond exhausted at this point. And to avoid stuff like that, flying your first step of the leg business can help. Because for the connection, it doesn't matter. They will pick you up with special assistance, bring you to the next gate. You will board the plane at the first person. And this is nothing that is stressing me out. I will just sit in the corner, get myself a coffee, doing a crossword riddle or stuff like that, or playing with my Switch. So this is fine because I am already in the security part of the airport. I don't need to go through security again. I think only if I would fly via United Kingdom, because this is difficult at the moment because of the Brexit and then EU entry system. But if I'm flying in Germany or in Europe in general, most of the time in Amsterdam, I know I need to go to a pass control, but in Frankfurt, for an example, there was nothing. I just could go to the next gate and everything was fine. 9th, make yourself noticeable and be kind to the staff. They don't know how many different and difficult experiences you had that day. And I can understand you if you are angry, if you are pissed off, because 20 people treated you like garbage that day. But it's never the fault of the 21st person. Just always keep that in mind. Take a deep breath and just be kind to the next person. Because it's not their fault that other people are like mental idiots. So, another important lesson I learned is that people cannot help you if they don't know that you need help. Being kind and talking to airport staff or a cast member can make a difference. I always smile at the cast members. I wish them a nice day. I appreciated their work and it making their day, because no one is treating them like normal human beings. Most of the people are just screaming at them. Just be kind. Letting staff know that you may need a little extra time or support can lead to a smoother experience on both sides. Most staff members generally want to help, but they cannot read your mind. Asking for help is, as I said, never a weakness. It is a skill. And I can guarantee you, I needed to work on this skill because I am such a proud and over competitive girl that it was so hard for me to learn to ask for help. It is a way of taking care of yourself. You are not a burden for having needs. If they are making you feel that way, it is their problem. I know it sounds hard and harsh, but I think everyone should break their foot or their leg at least once in their lifetime, just to have our perspective of living on a daily basis. It would change a lot of the behaviors, I think. I know there are always those people that just don't care, but I think most of the people don't realize it. So it's a huge difference. And number 10, do not plan every detail and accept that things can go wrong. And things can go wrong. Really wrong. I promise you that. I don't know, I can't remember a time I traveled without hiccups. So the last thing that helped me is learning not to plan every detail, because I want to have control about everything, but it's just not working this way. When you live with a chronic condition, your body does not always follow your plans. This is a really important thing to know and to accept. Pain flares happen, fatigue appears suddenly. It's like just hitting a wall from 1 second to another. Flight get delayed, suitcases got delayed, lost, stuff like that. Planes changes constantly. Instead of planning every minute, I try to plan flexible. I make sure I know how to get from A to B, set everything up, and also have a backup option for the worst case scenario. So I know if the Superstar shuttle is messing up the next time again, I just order an Uber or a Lyft. Peace in mind, everything is fine. I make sure, I learned it the hard way again, to know where the nearest hospital is that covers my insurance plan and that is specialized in my condition. Because my injury is so severe, doctors can get shocked when they just see and CAT scan from it. So I make sure they are specialized in stuff like that. So I don't want to get the doctors a heart attack. So sometimes stuff go wrong. Take a deep breath and look for a different way to handle the situation. Most important step is go a step back. Get yourself a little bit of room and watch the situation from a different angle. Being flexible allows me to travel with less stress and more self-compassion. So traveling solo with a hidden disability can feel very lonely, but you are not alone in this experience. Your struggles are real, even if other people cannot see them. Every time think about it. Your problems are real. You deserve support, rest, and understanding while you are traveling. If this video helped you, I would be really happy if you liked it, shared it, or subscribed to my channel. If you want, you can leave me a comment about one thing that made traveling easier for you. Thank you so much for watching, and please be kind to yourself and be kind to other people, especially when you are traveling. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.